Good morning. Welcome to the WEX Wakeup for Monday, May 22nd. I'm Christy Matino. Happening today, Biden and McCarthy are set to meet for more debt ceiling talks. But now House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is saying that Senator Bernie Sanders is having an influence over President Joe Biden during these negotiations.
The pivot has really been after Bernie Sanders had his press conference. The president pivoted back. He actually proposed spending billions more next year than we spend this year. The president's budget actually proposes spending more money than we spent at the height of the pandemic.
McCarthy believes Biden's willingness to negotiate shifted after a press conference on Monday with Democratic senators, where Sanders says that accepting Republicans' demands to make spending cuts would cause incalculable harm. And the NAACP has issued a travel advisory for Florida in response to DeSantis' DEI restrictions. The civil rights organization alleged there was an increase in racism against Black people. They were citing Governor Ron DeSantis' move to restrict diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in education. Last week, the governor signed a bill that banned public colleges and universities in the states from allotting money to these sorts of programs. The governor responded to the news by calling it, quote, a joke, saying the advisory is ridiculous. And Senator Marsha Blackburn is hoping to give parents the toolbox they need to protect their children on social media platforms. Washington Examiner reporter Julia Johnson sat down with the senator. She explains this new proposed legislation.
I spoke with Senator Marsha Blackburn about her newly reintroduced legislation to protect children on the internet. Here's what she had to say.
So for the last 3 years, we have had this legislation, working on this legislation, and this legislation would give parents the toolbox that they need. It would require that social media platforms designed for safety, and that they have that safety setting by default. That parents have a portal where they can report some of these postings and videos that encourage self-harm, suicide, eating disorders, that put kids in touch with drug dealers and pedophiles.
According to the Tennessee Republican, this legislation is so important because children have died doing challenges that they found on various social media sites. For the Washington Examiner, I'm Julia Johnson.
And that's the news on the WEX Wake Up. Be sure to follow us online and on social media so you stay in the know of all those headlines trending in politics.